G. 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 Careful, G. G. Oh, good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning, everybody. So today we are doing, no, Brenda shook her head, no. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. So today we're doing a little bit of disking, and I'm going to explain what we're doing and why we're doing it as we go along here for the next few minutes. Hey, cup step. And also who we have here today. So today, usually I disc with the three Suffocks, which are working really, really, really good. Even in my last couple of videos, I showed how they were doing as a 3 abreast team. Yesterday, I was able to get cover over the ground beyond where I seated off in our distance over there, and I used the Suffocks. Got that done yesterday. Today we are going to Paul Smith College for the last class of the year. It's going to be their final exam, so we are going to take Duke and Earl for that. And so they are not going to work this morning. I have a little time, so I decided to put Bill and Lady with Baron. Belle is in the middle. So this ground here is very, very, very rough. It is where we had tiled, and it is where a piece of ground that has not been plowed for many, 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 many years, I'm sure. And of course the plowing job was not the best because of all the situations with the tile and all. Oops, G. But we got it plowed partially. We still have a little bit more to plow. G. Oops, G. And careful. We will be plowing this last little bit at some point. But it's a really another nice day. And we have rain coming in soon. And so it can use a little bit of rain, and I could plow after we get a little rain a lot easier than doing the disking when it's too wet. So I decided I want to at least get once or twice over this rough ground, and then we'll do the plowing another day. I will probably use my White Horse 2-way plow to finish up this little bit of plowing. I just have this one strip here, Brenda, right here that Brenda's walking on, and then over here we have another strip there to finish up the plowing for this year. Overall, it's been a very good spring as far as getting our crop work done. To be a horse farmer, timing is everything when it comes to doing crops and how you go about it. And I have tried to show so often with the way I do things is I try not to have to sit and rest horses. But horses need rest that time. So I have found out over the years, if I have either a wagon in the field like I usually do, so that I can tie the horses and use my time much more efficiently by walking back up to the sawmill maybe, or just picking stones, something so that the horses get their needed rest, but I don't sit there and rest horses. Also, by having a second team, whether that's 1 horse, 2 horses, or 3 horses, to be able to do something else while the first team is resting is very beneficial. I was at an Amish farm the other day, and they buy logs from me. And I was talking with them because their kids were out in the field driving the horses. And I said, how do you, at such a young age, how are the kids able to know when the horses need a rest and how long they should rest them? And the father was saying, well, they really don't, but just they try the best they can. But it's very difficult to know when to rest horses and when to keep walking with them. And like I said, I don't like to rest horses at all if it means me standing there with them. Sometimes I will make a phone call or something while they're resting a little bit, but generally I either make my horses keep right on walking, or I tie them someplace so they can rest, so that I don't just sit there doing nothing. There's just too much work to be done that if we don't keep at it, it just won't get done. This section we've already picked quite a lot of stones out of here. There were some big old stones from the tiling that kind of makes it rough, but we're gaining on it. And this ground here, of course, will be corn ground, and by next year when we plow it up again to seed it down, it should be a lot better seed bed than we have now. Effigy. This section right here is extremely rough, a lot of sod showing. So I'm hoping that the disc will chew it up enough to be able to make a decent corn stand. It's not so crucial with corn, but I want to cultivate it too, so I need to have plenty of dirt here to be able to work even in the cultivation. So what I'll have to do on this rougher ground where so much of the sod is, I'll just have to go over a lot more than the spots that are nice. but the soil itself is quite nice through here. So I know as soon as I break some of this sod up, it will be fine. There's plenty of stretches like what I'm on right now. This has only been disced once, I think. Last fall, I think I ran a spring tooth over it once. Or I should say the students were here and they were driving the horses out here a little bit. So, but this is pretty nice right here. But where it's a lot of sod, it'll take a lot more work. G. Careful, G. Careful. Careful. Yep. G. 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 So what we're working on right now is by far the worst spot in the whole field. And there's a saying goes, you know, 90% of fitting ground is in the plowing. And here's a good example right here. You know, it's just such a poor plowing job and that it's going to make it so much harder to fit this ground. But hopefully I can show you in the next few weeks that it did work out pretty good, or good enough for corn. Fortunately, we have like 3 weeks before we're ready to plant corn, before the weather is such to plant corn. Corn ground has to be nice and warm before it's safe to plant. So that will be, like I said, probably 3 weeks before I plant, which is generally around the 20th of May. G. G. It obviously would be better if the plowing was all done, because I could kind of hit this ground lengthwise and then I could go crossways with it. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of hit the spots that need it the most, going lengthwise, and then hopefully in a few days I'll get that plowed and then we can work at it crossways also. Another thing about the timing of everything and the importance of this type of stuff with horses, you know, if you even have an hour to hitch up horses and go out and work, it's so beneficial for both you, the horses, and the ground. G, 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 careful, careful, G. So like I'd said, this piece of ground just has not been plowed for almost forever. And for years, when we were running the sawmill on a full-time basis, I would bring all the slab wood out here and put it in a pile, and we'd end up every year burning it. So there was massive piles of slabs that got burnt. So there's massive amount of ashes in this section, which should be good for the ground, and it should help things to grow. But it's also got a lot of wood chips in it, and the soil itself is very just hard to work. But we'll get it eventually. So because of all this work we did with the tiling, we had to tear up all the horse fence, and now we've kind of got temporary fence down there by the horses, and it's really kind of hard to know where I don't know for sure where I want to put my permanent fence up for the horses. So that's something that I'm dealing with even right now. I would love to plow up 3 paddocks that we have out there, but when you plow it up and seed it down, it takes a long time before you can actually use it for pasture, because the animals' hooves would just tear it all up so much. So that's another thing we're dealing with as we go on fitting this land. Careful. So I'm pretty sure we'll get it eventually, get it all figured out, and we'll keep working on this for another hour or so, and then I'll have to have some lunch, get ready to head to Paul Smith's College. So we'll see you not at Paul Smith's College, but someplace else on the farm to finish up this video. So we've been wanting to do some work in our cow barnyard, and so we were able to get 5 loads of sand in here. And before we brought the sand in this one section, we went through and picked the stones off the ground, and now I'm going to be able to push the sand around to hopefully make this a much better barnyard. We still have some more stones to pick, but for where this sand is going, we cleaned up the stones out of that area, and we're now just spreading the sand around. One reason why I'm doing this is because I'm not able to get the skid steer up into this pan I have where the cows are, and I need to be able to clean it out. And so with the sand there for a ramp, I can get in here and clean it out with the skid steer.